And we are back. Welcome to my final round of predictions ahead of Matchday 5. Today's video is going to be covering all 9 matches taking place on Saturday, the final matches of Matchday 5. So you now have every single Matchday 5 prediction available to you. If you miss the last 2 videos that we posted, including all of my predictions for today's opening matches of Matchday 5, you can check those out, available at the top of your screen right now. And to make sure you don't miss any of my prediction videos, you can make sure you are subscribed at the bottom of your screen, and make sure if you're already subscribed that you are dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy all of my prediction videos. Now, without any further ado, we'll just get straight into it today, because once again, our results and scores will not be updated because the ball has not been kicked yet. So we'll jump straight in to the first prediction of the day, which is in League D, and it is Group 2 that are in action on Saturday, and that match sees Andorra going up against Moldova. Now, this group stands as follows. Moldova are top on 6. Malta are second, also on 6. However, Moldova got the head-to-head win on aggregate, so they are top of the table because of that. And that means that Andorra sit on 0 points with 2 defeats out of 2. However, they could still pull this off, because if they win this game and then win the game in hand in match day 6, they could still actually mathematically win this group. But it does mean that whatever happens, if Moldova win this game, they are absolutely guaranteed to get promoted to League C, as they already have the head-to-head record over Malta, which means even if Malta beat Andorra on match day 6, Moldova will be getting promoted. So everything is in favour of Moldova going into this one. Andorra, like I say, have already lost their 2 matches so far in this group, and that included losing at home to Malta. They've also not scored in either match so far, so the likelihood is that Moldova take the win again here. It was a 2-0 victory for them at home, so going away, I am just going to go for the 1-0 victory to Moldova. It is also worth noting that going into this game, that as far as I can tell, neither side have any injury or suspension concerns. That then takes us straight on to League C, and it is Group 1 that is the only league in action in League C on Saturday, and this group is Azerbaijan, Estonia, Sweden and Slovakia. And this group is incredibly finely poised. You have Azerbaijan and Estonia smack back at the bottom on 0 points and 3 points respectively. Then you have Sweden and Slovakia, who both have 10 points sitting at the top. So we'll start off with the 2 sides at the bottom who are playing each other first. It was Estonia who came out on top last month with a 3-1 victory over Azerbaijan, which means that basically Azerbaijan quite simply have to win this match if they're going to have any chance of surviving League C, certainly at this stage of the competition. Obviously, again, we spoke about the whole League C makeup as to how you can get relegated to League D if you finish bottom. But anything but a win for Azerbaijan in this match, and a win by a scoreline greater than what Estonia managed to pull off last month, means that Azerbaijan will be guaranteed to finish bottom of this group, because the assumption would be both will lose to Sweden and Slovakia on match day 6. However, even though Estonia did win that match last month 3-1, Azerbaijan actually had 70% possession and had a higher XG. So now that they're back at home, you've got to fancy them to get the result here. The only thing going into it that could be a slight issue for them is their forward, Emreli, is suspended for this match. So he is one of their forwards, so that could potentially affect their chances of getting the win here. But I don't think it's going to be enough to stop them from getting the win. I am going for a 2-0 victory to Azerbaijan, which means that their deciding positions will come down to goal difference, as they would be equal on their head-to-head at 3-3. The other game in the group is basically a group decider as to which of the 2 teams gets promoted, because as we've already mentioned, the expectation would be that Sweden and Slovakia respectively beat Azerbaijan and Estonia on match day 6. So with both these sides sitting on 10 points, the winner of this match is basically guaranteed to get promoted to League B. Now, when these 2 sides met last month, it was a 2-2 draw, because that's how they've ended up on 10 points. They've both beaten Azerbaijan and Estonia in their other 3 matches. They drew 2-2 with each other. What is worth noting, though, that is obviously in that match, Sweden were the away side, and they were without Alexander Isak going into that match. This time, they are at home Isak is available. He's also back on form. Gyökeres is still probably the most informed striker in world football. So both of them are going to be up front together. And Slovakia's key player, Lobotka, is a potential injury doubt going into this one as well. So there's not a lot really going for Slovakia in this one, other than the fact that they were able to pull off the draw last month. But for me, this is Sweden's game to lose. I was kind of torn between sort of like a 2-1, a 3-1 or a 3-2. I expect both teams to score, but I expect Sweden to get the win. And I settled on a 2-1 victory to Sweden. That then takes us up to League B. There are two groups taking part in League B on Saturday. The first of those we'll cover is Group 1 of League B. And this is a really confusing group because you've got Czechia on 7, Georgia and Albania on 6, and Ukraine on 4. So really, really tough to call. On Matchday 3, Georgia lost at home to Ukraine. We're going to start with the Georgia-Ukraine match first. They backed that result up by also losing 1-0 at home to Albania. Meanwhile, Ukraine were in Czechia getting a draw. So arguably the form, the momentum is in favour of Ukraine going into this match against Georgia. They obviously have their star boy, Kvaratskhelia, available to them. They are going to be missing Dvali at the back. He is suspended. And what's really crucial for Ukraine is that Sigankov is out of the midfield, and also Dovbyk, their star striker, is struggling for fitness and could miss the game. As things stand, it's about 50-50 whether or not he'll make the game. So it really is a tough one. Defeat to Ukraine could essentially see them relegated from this group, and in fact will see them relegated if Albania get the result over Czechia later on. So it's going to be a tough one for them. They've got to get at least some sort of result in this one. But I am backing them to get a 1-1 draw here. It's a very, very tough one to call this. Again, I would expect both sides to score. Arguably, both sides do need the win if they're going to have any realistic chances of progressing from this league. But right now, I'm just going to go down the middle with a 1-1 draw. The other game in the group is then Albania taking on Czechia. And, well, in terms of this match itself, a win for the Czechs would see them promoted to League A if Georgia do, in fact, drop points against Ukraine in the other game. Any other result in this match will make the group very, very interesting. Now, back in the reverse fixture, it was a 2-0 victory at home for the Czechs, but Albania then were able to get the win against Georgia, whilst the Czechs were only able to draw with Ukraine. In terms of injuries and suspensions, Daku is suspended for Albania and Jim City is going to be available, and Czechs have no injury or suspension issues whatsoever. So in my head, you've got to consider the Czechs to be the favourite. They are the highest scoring team in this group so far, but bizarrely they're also the highest conceding or the leakiest defence in this group so far. So it's a very, very bizarre dynamic in this group. Realistically, I can only see this game being separated by 1 goal. You're talking 1-goal win to Albania, a draw, or a 1-goal win to Czechia. But I am going for the Czechs, and I'm going for a 2-1 victory, which if this group plays out as I've predicted, will see the Czechs automatically promoted to League A on Saturday night. The other group in League B sees the group of Montenegro, Iceland, Turkey and Wales. And the opening game here between Montenegro and Iceland is an absolute must-win for both. Montenegro sit bottom of the group on 0 points and have lost all of their last 6 matches in all competitions. And if they do not win this match, they are relegated to League C. For Iceland, anything but a win guarantees that they will be fighting a relegation fight, either for automatic relegation or they'll be playing a relegation playoff. They have to make sure they get the win here to keep in touching distance of Turkey and Wales going into the final match day. But they are 4 points behind Wales with an inferior head-to-head record. So even then, it's going to be a real struggle for them. They're going to be relying on Turkey to beat Wales and them getting the result to keep this interesting. On match day 1, it was Iceland that got the victory in this fixture. It was a 2-0 victory. So momentum is going to be on their side. And not only that, Montenegro are also going to be out Stefan Jovetic for this match through suspension. So with both teams needing the win here, I can see this being a very high-scoring match. Absolute chaos at both ends. And to be honest, I can't split them either here because again, they're both going to be going for it. The likelihood is both sides are going to be conceding plenty of counter-attacks. I think there's going to be a fair few goals, so I'm going for a 2-2 draw. The other game in this group sees Turkey taking on Wales, where victory for Turkey guarantees them promotion to League A after Wales dropped points on match day 4 and were only able to draw 0-0 on match day 1. So for Wales, this is a must-win fixture away to the Turks, but ultimately it's going to be a tough ask for them. On match day 1, it was a 0-0 draw. Wales did have 3 XG in that match. So Turkey are going to be aware that Wales are capable of dominating them if they need to, but Wales are also going to be aware that Turkey are capable of keeping them out. In terms of injuries and suspensions, Turkey are going to be without Yildiz through suspension, their Juventus youngster, and they have Kadioglu injured for this one, but the rest of their young, talented squad is fit and ready to go, and their captain, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, has also been declared fit. For Wales, they're basically relying on informed forwards Harry Wilson and Brennan Johnson to get the job done for them, but they are going to be missing Ethan Ampadu through injury as well. Ultimately, I just think this is a step too far for Wales. They've definitely shown that they are a very good side, and I think they're going to be playing some sort of promotion relegation playoff between themselves and a League A side. So I think they're going to be in that fight, but I don't think they're going to be in the fight for automatic promotion, and I think it's going to be over after this match. I'm going for a 3-1 victory to Turkey. Finally then, we have League A, and it is Group 3, and we start off with Germany against Bosnia and Herzegovina. There's really not too much to say here. If Germany win this match, they are guaranteed to be group winners. They are already guaranteed to go through to the knockout stages because they are on 10 points. The next nearest are Hungary and Netherlands, both on 5. So whatever happens with Netherlands and Hungary playing each other, Germany are guaranteed to go through to the knockout stages. Bosnia sit on 1 point. It's an absolute must-win for them if they have any chance of surviving here. But they've not got a good head-to-head record against Hungary or the Netherlands, so it's just really not looking good for them. Ultimately, with Germany at home, even with a few of their players injured, albeit not the key players injured, I just have to think that Germany take the win here. I'm going to go for 4-1. Again, I don't think I need to say too much more here. Bosnia have been the whipping boys of this group so far, and I think that is going to continue on Saturday night, and Germany will guarantee themselves a top spot and a highest rank seeding in the knockout stages of the Nations League. The other game in the group, though, is a lot more interesting. Both of these teams sit on 5 points, and it was a 1-1 draw in Budapest. So that means the winner of this match will go through to the knockout stages because it is done on head-to-head. If Hungary win, then Holland win their last game and Hungary lose, and they both end up on 8 points. Hungary will go through on the superior head-to-head record. Equally, if the Dutch win this match, then lose their final match and Hungary win their final match, the Dutch will go through on the superior head-to-head. So this is quite literally, winner of this match goes in to the knockout stages of the Nations League. The only fitness concern for either side is Frenkie de Jong for the Dutch. They don't have any other injuries or suspensions. The Hungarians don't have any other injuries or suspensions going into this one. So both sides are going on face value. What is worth noting is that when Hungary were away to Germany, they lost 5-0. So I think, again, this is arguably a step too far for them. They've been well worth their 5 points so far in this group. But I think going to Holland for this match, the Dutch have to be considered the strong favourites. So I'm ending today's video with a 3-1 victory to the Netherlands. And that is going to be it for all of my predictions for match day 5. As always, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching over the course of this week already. We'll be back tonight with my reaction to the England game against Greece, where hopefully England's chances of promotion will still be alive. Otherwise, we're going to be in for one hell of a rant at Lee Carsley. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be back all over again, where I'll start covering all of the first matches on match day 6. Thank you very much for watching once again. I'll see you soon.